tutorial. So we'll be starting with English language. As you can see here, we have summary. So we'll be dealing with the summary questions first. So for English language, as we know, in your exam you have objective questions of I think 80 objective questions. For English you have like 80 OBJ questions, you have 60 oral questions, then you have theory questions whereby you choose one essay. Sorry, I think I need to let someone in. Okay, you choose one essay, either essay or letter writing or story or article or whatever. That's like one essay, so I call it essay in general. You have to choose comprehension questions. I think now they reduce it to one, before it's usually two. You have to choose comprehension and you have to do summary. So in everything here, we'll be starting from summary today. So I'll be giving you some important tips about summary. Though, let me just tell you something. Comprehensions and summary in English language for WAEC, you can only get it better through practice. Like, you have to take time. I know many of us, maybe we are science student or commercial, so we don't really take English serious, but I'll tell you that English is actually quite important than your chemistry or physics or account or commerce or whatever, or government, because you can switch to any other field in life, but in everything you do you need math and English, very important. So you have to take, I know many people don't really read English textbooks. If I may ask, which English textbook are you using? Let me hear you, so I can know how far you are actually reading English. Using a textbook.
For me, I'm using exhaustive English.
Okay, how is it? Is it fun by you?
It's really good. It's a very good textbook too.
Okay,
It
right.
explains a lot of. Yes, it's fine by me. Though I have other textbooks.
Okay, though I would like to like maybe encourage, have you heard of A1 in English, or is it A1 English or something, by Delia Ashade? That's the writer of the textbook. You can try to consider this. It's a very good textbook actually. I used it and I saw the difference. So you can try to check this out. Maybe you might see your friend using it, or just go to a bookstore or whatever. Just try it out. Okay, that aside. Now on summary, there are some few things you have to know. Summary is just like you read a passage, then you kind of shorten the story. Most times in summary they will give you like paragraphs of different, maybe a story or an informative essay or a descriptive essay or one or two things like that. Mostly it's always essay that have points. For example, if something can be about drug abuse and they can list, it might just be on the effects of drug abuse, and in the questions they might now ask you that, okay, list like 5 effects of drug abuse from the passage. Then when they tell you something like that, it's different from comprehension. You don't start writing stories or grammar. First rule of summary, number one, is that it must be one sentence. Have that down. Your summary answer must not be more than a sentence. That means in your summary answer, well, even though it will want to be long or something, you might have a comma, but you should not have more than one full stop. Very important. Are we getting that down? Number two, you must avoid grammatical mistakes or grammatical error, as the case may be. Make sure you read and reread your write up. Do you get it now? Always read your write-up. Even our advice, maybe in your exam, let me just give you these tips. Have a pencil you are using. So on your question sheet, like they told you list 5 or something, write the something with pencil somewhere on your question sheet, and maybe you can erase it with your eraser later, but try to write it down and practice it, so that when you are transferring in your book, you don't start making mistakes of cancelling or whatever. It does not really give you good marks. So that's number 2. You must avoid grammatical error. Where you are meant to use have and you go and use as, there is a problem. It's not actually right. Have is a plural auxiliary verb. As we know, we should know that. Why as is a singular auxiliary verb, and you should know that in the categories of pronoun, I is a plural pronoun, though it is used for one person. But though this is not what I'm talking about, but I'm just trying to just give you some tips on grammatical error. So I is a plural pronoun, though it is used for one person. For example, I would say I am a man, for instance. That's I. But when you are using it with a verb like as or have, you can't say I has a ball. Is very, very wrong. It's automatically wrong. You can only say I have a ball, because I follows a plural auxiliary verb. So the same thing. So I'll raise some things here. The same thing, if you are dealing with we or whatever, okay, we is a plural pronoun, so you can't say we as or whatever, or they as. You have to use the word we have. Also, okay, let me talk briefly about this. Okay, I know we have lexical verbs. Have you heard of lexical verbs before? Lexical verbs are actually the verbs they taught us in primary school. In primary school, they will say, what is a verb? A verb is an action word or a doing word, and they will now start giving you speak, jump, run, all those kind of things. Those are verbs actually, but they are just one class of verb. That's lexical verb. We have primary auxiliary verbs. By now, we should know that is, was, are, where, they are all verbs. Have, as, and had, they are also part of the verb. This is a primary auxiliary verb. Primary auxiliary verb. What are primary auxiliary verb? You can write that down. Primary auxiliary verbs are verbs that assist a verb. You can't find them alone in a sentence. They are used with a verb. For example, you want to say I have been to the mall, or I have been playing football games. You notice that this have is assisting this lexical verb playing, so they are always having the work of assisting. Also, there is a difference between being and been. You use being when you are dealing with primary auxiliary verb. All these verbs are here. For example, he is being slow, something like this. But when you are using been, please note all these facts I'm giving you. When you are using been, you use, they call this like these another forms of auxiliary verb. So you use auxiliary verbs like have, as, and add. Sorry, they are called, I don't remember now, they are called modal auxiliary verbs. Do nobody will ask you the name, except maybe you are writing positemi. I think they have something like that, but for WAEC nobody will ask you the name. But I'm just trying to just make you know the name, just classify them. You use, I'll come again, primary auxiliary verbs, you use being. For modal auxiliary verbs, you use been. So you have to take note of that. Also, let me rub my screen. You guys have to be very careful with using US spellings and British spellings. in WAEC exam, we were colonized by the British Empire or whatever. You can't use um, US spelling. For example, you'll be seeing stuff like, when we are typing on WhatsApp, we just type it the way we care. Like you can be using I wanna go somewhere, I gonna, all those kind of stuff. Or spellings like, I think some of us, okay, let me do a quick test now. Can someone spell organization for me? Okay, someone is trying to enter. Okay, let's someone try organization. Okay, let's do that quickly. So I want to show you the difference between British language and American English. Who is
O
going?
R
Okay.
O R
Mm-hmm.
G A N
Okay.
I Z A T I O N.
Okay. What about Amy? Do you want to try organization? Welcome, Lores. So we are doing summary in English. So I've given 2 points already, and I'm on the second point. We talked about it must have a sentence. I've rubbed that up. Sorry. It must avoid grammatical errors. So we are talking about British and American English. Now, you said something like this. This is what Ife said. This Z, you can check Google. This is American English. They are the one that use Z. These are the little things that make people have low points in their essays and whatsoever they are doing. In British English, we use S. It's not only organization. I'm trying to remember a better word. So in your exam, you have to write this. This is British English. Please note all these points. You have to write this. Do you get now? There are others too. I don't know. I've forgotten that you to be having Z or S. So you have to pick the S, please. Now, third rule of summary. Third rule is that your summary must be concise. When I mean concise, as short as possible. For Lawrence that is just coming, remember, for those that have been here, I said try to write somewhere, because you work on the point. Like, okay, somehow I write content for like for brands or something. So when you are writing, like, you have to be straight to the point. For example, you are writing proposal for a brand, like you want a brand company want to get a proposal. So you have to be very, very concise as possible. This is not comprehension. Things that are not needed, you remove them. I know you are not typing, so if you make mistake, you start cancelling and your work look lot messy. So you have to be very careful. So I'll write it to be read here. Be concise, very concise. For example, okay, let me give a very good example. Because I'll be stopping very soon, so you guys can solve the question. You are solving the question live here. Let's say 2017 now. Okay, let me do 2016. If I have to pass question, 2016 theory summary passage. I'm not reading it actually, but I just want to pick one or two things. It says section C summary. It says 30 marks in 4 sentences. Notes in 4 sentences. That means I'm doing a live question now. Section C 2016. A question now in 4 sentences, 1 for each. That means in your answer you have to list it I, and IV. 1 for each. That means each line should not be more than 1 sentence. That's the first law I gave to you. Also, number 4, I forgot to say this. Don't use word for word. As simple as it is, be very careful. Look for synonyms. Write in your own language actually. Don't look for big grammar. It is summary. They want your understanding of the passage. Write in your own language. Don't go and write in blunders actually. That's why I said you must be grammatically correct. Also, punctuations are important. put your punctuations. Many of us, you want to write J or I, you just put it like this. Sorry, that's a mistake. Okay, you put it this way, you do not dot it. You write I, nothing. You write T, just leave it like this. All these things actually matters. Actually, I will not say I'm strict in marking, but if I'm the one marking this, for me, you just wrote I for this, or you wrote one. I said I. You just wrote one, and I'll be wondering what is one doing in English language. And this one, in my own opinion, you just wrote L instead of T. So I think you are getting it now. So all these things are so very very important. I mean, so dot your G's, dot your I, cross your T's. That's why I remember when I was writing like the man that was, or one of the invigilators or something, the teacher was just giving a code, was saying the same word, dot your I's, cross your T's, and I was like, what is he saying? Then I just got the scope that, oh, it was saying it in form of a song. So it was using that to give us tips that we should check if we've written our J, our I, or our T very well. That's just a scope. So all these things are very 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 important. So back to what I was saying, 2016 question, section CA. It says in 4 sentences, one for each, summarize the factors that have prompted the rapid increase in world population. So I'll look at, okay, let me just start with the first paragraph or the second paragraph because there's no time. To begin with, I'm reading second paragraph. Think of the health facilities obtainable from some centuries compared to now. Man knowledge of medical care was appalling some centuries ago. So funny enough, with what I'm saying here, he's just talking about the growth in health. So the health sector has caused the rapid increase in the world population. Now, are we reading it? Because I'm going to use your suggestions in writing the answer now. Who's reading with me?
Hi, sir.
Okay, so does, even though I know you've not read the something to understanding a lot, but can you just quickly summarize? How will you write the sentence in a sentence? Just take your time. I'll give you like a minute.
Just that paragraph.
Yeah, just that paragraph alone. So if it's done, Ademi will talk also. So let's see how it goes.
Can you recap what you said? Network is having issues, so I did not get what you asked me
Oh, I'm really sorry.
to do.
Yeah, okay, I'll come again. I understand the network. I'm just lucky to have good network here. Okay, the thing I was saying was I'm looking at section C summary, WAEC past question 2016. You can go to it. On the second paragraph, the question says A, in 4 sentences, one for each, summarize the factors that have prompted the rapid increase in world population. So now I just want us to solve like one of the question. I want you to give me, how will I write the first paragraph? How will I write the summary? Do you get now? So number 2, it says, to begin with, think of health facilities obtainable some centuries ago, earlier compared with now. Man's knowledge of medical healthcare was appalling some centuries ago. Today, with medical centers with easy reach of most people and with drugs available to combat virtually all form of diseases, death rate has been drastically reduced while life expectancy has risen significantly in most countries. This has caused the great reduction in infant mortality, and subsequently increase the number of senior citizens. So I want someone to summarize that sentence for me. So
Um,
I would write it in.
medicine, or let me say good health care has increased natality rate, like has increased the population, the
Okay,
birth rate.
wait, let me write it down. Sorry. Okay, you said good healthcare
Has
has increased.
increased the population.
Oh, I did not write care. Has increased the what?
Population.
Okay, the population. Then please, as I said, put your punctuation full stop. As little as it is so important. Okay, someone has summarized the first one. Can someone do the second one? I'll still check if there are corrections. Someone should tell me about the second one. Is on education, I think. That's the third paragraph. It says, similarly, there is a vital role of education. The spread of education has increased a great level of awareness about human welfare and health. I said, please bring your past questions when you are coming here, especially math and English, so you can follow along. I'm in 2016 summary questions, section C, theory. Even primary school pupils knows that the dangers of drinking unwholesome water, living in unclean environment, ignoring simple rules of hygiene. Besides, education has deflated the various myths and superstitions that pervaded our father's life. I don't know whose father they are talking about here. Okay, maybe it's their ancestors. Eh, so the second one is about education. Do you notice that each paragraph contains points? That's something I've noticed throughout the years. They don't write 2 points in one paragraph. So the seventh tip I'll be giving you is that take your time to study each paragraph, because without good understanding you can't write something reasonable. I'll say it again. Without good understanding you can't write something reasonable, because we'll be putting an end to this summary class very soon. So what you have to do is, they said good health, sorry about this, good health has increased the population. So he said good health care has increased the population. Okay, it's actually concise and short. It's very good, but someone like me, I might not want to put this word healthcare. I want something different that is not in the book, but but conveys the message in the book. I can just say, okay, using the word good medical facilities. Though there are sometimes you can't do without using some keyword in the book. So increase the word's population. Do you see the difference? Because here they talked about health facilities. So instead of health facilities, medical care and even the thing is that the doctors of those days and these days, there is a difference actually. But the main thing that distinguished them, the real thing that distinguished them, is medical facilities according to the passage. Do you understand now? Like they're trying to say that in those days they don't have those machines, or they don't have those facilities as at now. Please, number 8 tip that I would like to tell you: don't use your head knowledge in either comprehension or summary. For example, your comprehension says there is no God, for instance, and maybe you are a Christian or you are a Muslim, or you believe that there is God. According to the passage, they are saying there is no God. You have to follow what the passage says. For example, in the passage they said tissue is the basic unit of life or something. I know it is cell. You just have to follow the passage and follow the word tissue. So anything, don't use your head knowledge. Don't assume, please. That's very important. Don't assume that okay, if they are wrong, let me use this, let me use that. For example, they said medical facilities. Maybe you now go and choose surgeon or whatever. It does not go in line. Are you getting that now? So you have to be like, you have to follow the trend, follow what they are using. It's very important. Okay, I think I'll be solving the rest of the passage before I move on. Okay, so let me continue. So let's look at other summary. We've talked about good medical facilities has increased. Sorry if I've rubbed something of your writing. Number 2, apart from good medical facility, they talked about education. Maybe Lauren should answer this question. I don't know if you are still there. Now, if I were to pass question, how will you summarize the paragraph on the education paragraph? Hey, he has left the meeting. I think it's network. What of Okwe? How will you summarize the paragraph? Is she there? The network is really bad at her side. Okay. If you can answer that, right? How will you summarize the second paragraph?
I'd say education has made man to see the importance of having good health.
Okay. It's education has made man to see the importance of having good health. Wait, read the question again. It says, in 4 sentences, one for each, summarize the factors that have prompted the rapid increase in the world population. Any question you must answer the question, the world population. Do you get that now?
Oh,
Now you talked about importance of having good health. It goes in line with the passage, but not in line with the question anymore. So your question or your answer must follow the passage. Do you get now? So just try to rephrase that and just see what else will you say. Just I'll give you a minute or so. Okay, let me answer this question. I want to teach you something like an arc. Let me teach you an arc on summary. Very important. Listen carefully. It's an arc. Some might not have told you, might not have heard about it anyway. Do you know that from summary, I can just speak a sentence. I don't have to do too much stress of understanding. I might just speak one sentence and try to do.
hello?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say education has shown that having good health increases the population.
Okay. Okay. Education has shown that having good
Having
health.
good health.
No, I don't think that will work. Though you are going in line with the passage, but it has to answer the question. Okay. Let me see my own. Now, what I was saying, I was telling you about an arc. Don't worry, you answer the third one, then call it a day. Let me tell you this arc. So, do you see the passage? That one sentence that said, the spread of education has created a great level of awareness about human welfare and health. Now, when we were in primary school, if they give us comprehension, the thing we usually do then was that we would just write that sentence for the teacher and we'll have our 5/5 or something. But in summary, it's not like that. I will rewrite this exact thing, but I will just change the English and the structure That's what summary is about. Now look at it. I'm going to answer the question. It says the spread of education has created a great level of awareness about human welfare and health. Now I'll pick out the keyword awareness instead of awareness. Another way of awareness, another word is like info. That's information. You can't substitute the word education. You are still going to use it. Do you get? There are some things you don't substitute. These are the key points. So we leave it there. So I want to summarize this passage. I'll say education has created. I don't think instead of spread. Did you see what I did? Instead of the word spread, I used the word created, or like I can use the word propagated. And the information about you saw human welfare and health. Instead of human welfare and health, I'll say about good health. Now let me see if I make any error, because you have to reread your sentence. Look at sentence. Education has created the information, or education has created, okay, yeah, the information about good health, or has propagated. Like I can remove this word because they wrote the word spread. So instead of spread, instead of created, I will change it to propagated. Oh, I've erased this. So now in comprehension, nobody can be the best. You can have a better idea that is more than this. Okay, I don't know if anyone is still there who can try to rephrase this and give me a better answer to what I wrote here. If you are not satisfied with what I wrote, just let me know. That's what summary is about. So who have a better answer? I would love to hear your answers.
Um,
Okay.
Without education, the importance of good health would not be made known.
Okay. Without education, the importance of good health would not be made known. No. Okay. Okay, that's not bad actually. Let me rephrase in my mind. Without education, the importance of goodness will not be made known. Yes, but okay, this. Look at the question. Summarize the factors that have prompted. So you're talking about the factors. Your answer must be like a straight sentence. What you just said now looks like a clause. Like you still need another sentence to back up what you said. I think you should be getting what I'm trying to say. So you have to create a straight sentence. For example, using the word without, because of something, they look like clause. Clause are like incomplete sentences. They need something to, though they can stand alone, but they are kind of still incomplete. For example, he can do it. What is he doing? You see that it's not complete. You see that it's not a complete something. Or you can say he went to the hospital to do what? You get, like you said, without education, so and so. So though I'm looking for something better than this. So I can say education has propagated the information about good health. So this information about good health has reduced what? Death rate. And we get, so number 3, we'll conclude on number 3. Let's do number 3. Number 3 is on nutrition. Let's read that quickly, then we'll talk about number 3. So I'll give you a few seconds to read about number 3.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Do you have an answer?
Are we using past question here?
Yes, English past question. Two 2016.
Can I try number 3?
Okay, yeah, you can.
Oh, I'm not with my past question, and actually, I'm not.
Okay,
Provision of
wait. Who is who wants to talk now? Okay, let Ife talk. Then Lawrence, you answer the question later. So we do it one after the other, so it does not break the communication. Okay, let Ife talk.
provision of food has reduced death rate.
Mm, okay, I think you are getting it now. Yeah, provision of food. Okay, very good. So let Lawrence say his own, then I'll talk about what he just finished saying again. Lawrence, are you still there? Oh, this network
I guess he said
is.
he's not with his first
Yeah,
question.
okay, it's not possible. But I thought you said you want to talk. His network is even really bad. Okay, let's continue. So when he joins us. Okay, now you said, please can you come again? Just let me hear what you said.
Provision of food has reduced death rate.
Okay, provision of food has reduced death rate. Okay, good. But it's concise. But I think it's too concise in relation to the question. Provision of food has reduced death rate, have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now if you're talking about provision of food, they talked about like, okay, they talked about like availability of large amount of food. That means in those days, like areas that there is water, there was not enough of food, so they don't plant there, so they kind of starve. But now places that there is water or something, do you know that people grow food without soil now? I don't know if you've heard of it. I do have seen it. They plant without soil, like in snow areas and all this kind of thing. So you can say, um, will I say provision? Okay, let me use large quantity.
Or availability.
Yes, very good. Did they use the word availability there? Okay, they use the word available. Availability. They use available. Hmm. Maybe we'll go with your provision. Okay. Instead of availability, you can put access. Do you see? Access to enough, or I will not use the word enough because in this sentence they talked about food is just available. So you can use the word large quantity of food has reduced death rate. Do you see the difference now? From the arc I told you about, not quite long, I used the same word availability of food. Instead, I changed it to what? Access. Then I tweak the whole something and wrote it in my own sentence. Are you fine with this? Or you have another thing?
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay, great. So, let's take the last question. I will call it a day on this. Last question. So, read the last question. Tell me your answer. Okay, welcome Ademi. We are on number 4 now. The fourth, okay, I think it's the fifth paragraph. So you have to answer the question. Summarize the factors that have prompted the rapid increase in world population. So number 4 is talking about security and wars. That's what I'm saying here. So how can you summarize that paragraph now? Okay, can we summarize it now?
Okay, I'm thinking the absence of wars have limited death rates and has made population to be on the rise.
Okay,
Well,
absence of wars has limited death rate. Instead of the word limited, reduced is a better word. You get, is a better word for this word. Okay, death rate, full stop. Absence of war. Wait, did you talk about absence of war? He said wars that ravaged Europe and Africa for many decades have almost been forgotten. Almost. They use the word almost. Although there are still some skirmishes in some part of the world. That means there's still war. There's no total absence of war. Do you get? So you have to tweak this absence. Do you get? That's what I'm saying. The eighth tip I gave was understanding the passage is very, very important. You have to understand the passage. So try to give me a better word. Do this is concise, it's very okay. I like the way it's short. So what can you say? What of Okpe? Are you here? Can you hear me? Okay, let me use this word. For example, you can say, okay, absence. I'll use your same word, absence, or you can use the word lack of. Let me use the word major wars, or you can use the word great wars as reduced. See, they've been talking about death. Why don't you use mortality rate? Do you see the difference? Lack of great wars. I'll remove this word major as reduced mortality rate. So are you fine with this? So we know,
yes,
okay, good. There are still wars, but they are not the wars that kill a lot of people. So I think from this lecture you've picked one or two things about summary. So if that be the case, are we good on this? On summary now? At least to a good extent.
yes, sir.
Great. So the next thing now you have to do is I'll give you an assignment. You solve the past question 2017 theory. You get? So you solve 2017 summary. So that will be the assignment.
When will I be submitting it?
that's next week. You can send your solution to the group, please. Just
Okay.
you snap it, convert it to PDF. You can use any scanner app. So
Okay.
those like one pages, 2017 summary. So
Okay, I
that
should snap the.
yes, you're right.
Okay.
Then you scan it. You can use Cam Scanner app, Adobe Scan, anyone. Or I think your camera's a map scan. I'm not sure, but I know of Cam Scanner and Adobe. So scan it. You convert to a PDF, so it'll be easy to check it. So that's that on that. So I think we are done for English today. So let's check what we can do on math, because time is fast spent. Okay, so we're talking about logarithm, and we're not done with logarithm. So today we'll continue logarithm, and I hope we finish it at least. So maybe next we'll be talking about financial arithmetic, all those tricky questions on profit and loss, discount, and all those kind of things. We should be doing that next week, by God's grace. So prepare your mind for that. I said next week, sorry, this week, Friday. Alright, still on logarithm. I give you an assignment. Have you solved it?
No, I've not been able to solve it. I plan on solving it today.
Oh, okay. And I'll be expecting the assignment next week too.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let's move on. Logarithm. Let's talk about logarithm equations. How do we solve equations involving logarithm? Now, starting from where we stopped yesterday, we talked about the laws governing logarithm, and we talked about plus turning to multiplication, minus turning to division. We talked about carrying powers of log, and several other things. So let's talk about equations. How do you solve equations involving log? So I'll start write the first equation. Question 1. You have solved. It is a nap tape question, but it does not mean you can still do it. You're still like WAEC. Nap tape questions are questions for people in tech school, like Yaba Tech Secondary School or other tech schools, I don't know, in other states across the country. It's the right nap tape. So we have solve log 2x plus 1 base 3 minus log x minus 3 base 2 base 3 equals to 2. Now let me tell you a law before we continue. There's a law that states log AB equals to C. I want to remove this log. I have to do like a carrying, like to cancel this log, this B here will come down, then this A will carry this C. So you have B equals to A raised to the power of C. For example, I have log 2 of A equals to 4. To get this A, this log will cancel, the A will come down, then this 2 will carry 4. Then you have A equals to 16. That's the basic rule you have to know. The same thing applies for anything, like log 3 base B equals to 4. It's just B equals to 3 raised to power 4. That's B is 81. I think we get that now. That was on a lighter note, so you can get what we are discussing about. I think the network is really bad today. Some people are just joining and I think it's taking them out. Sorry about that. There's not in my power to change that now. Okay, let's move on. Moving on. Now you have minus here. These logs, they are the same thing. So I can take a very big log of 3 in bracket. Remember what we said, minus will change to what? Division. So I have 2x plus 1 divided by x minus 3 all in bracket equals to what? 2. To bring this expression down, this one have to carry the 2. Don't write raised by 3. That's why I use this explanation of this carrying something. Like so, you have 2x plus 1 over x minus 3 equals to 3 raised to the power of 2. So you have 2x plus 1 over x minus 3 equals to 3 raised to the power 2 is 9. So 2x plus 1 will be 9 bracket x minus 3. So open the bracket, that will be 9x minus 27. Bring this one over here, you have 2x minus 9x equals to minus 27 minus 1. I guess here you should have minus 7x. Here is minus 28. So the simple thing is divide both sides by minus 7. Don't forget what I told you yesterday. Note the way I'm solving. These are you are meant to solve in WAEC. This cancels this. X will give you what? 4. Then you have your final answer. Many of you, when you are solving, you just write equals to 4. Then you just write final answer. You leave it like that. No, it's wrong. X equals to 4. They told you to solve for x and you just wrote equals to 4. Then the examiner mark will be like, what is equals to 4? You get that now? So x equals to 4 is not equals to 4. Please, let's take note of that. So we'll be solving another question very soon. So I can rub this off, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I'll rub this off. Look at this question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, thank God you are back. Nice. Okay, number 2. Number 2 here, we have this is an echo question. Log y minus 2 raised to the power of 3. 2011 question 1 in echo equals to log 64. Now you have log and log. The truth is that in an equation like this, they can actually cancel. Note though, because of this log here, like if I have log, let's say 2x plus 1 minus log x plus 1 equals to log 3. Don't just start cancelling log like this. It's very wrong in maths. It's until when they are together, like you can do log 2x plus 1 minus which into division x plus 1 equals to log 3. That's when you can cancel them and you start solving a new question. You get your answer very correct. But cancelling them individually like this is wrong. You see, this is in like a compact form. This is now that compact form. This one, they are not compact, but this is compact. That's why it can cancel each other. So this is compact. Now back to what we are doing. This cancels this. You have y minus 2 raised to the power 3 equals to 64. Now as a sharp student, it will be foolish actually. Okay, I'm coming. Let me rub my screen. Okay, I said as a sharp student, it will be foolish to start opening this one. You want to do like boss man. You want to start opening this. Is not needed at all. What you have to do, this is 64, this is 3. Remember in this is that we did maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. 64 64 is equals to 4 raised power 3. So I can simply say y minus 2 raised power 3 equals to 4 raised power 3. Then this can cancel this. You might be asking how. Okay, how? I can do cube root of each of them, like saying y minus 2 3 times 1 over 3 4 raised power 3 times 1 over 3. As long as what I did to A I'm doing to B is correct in mathematics. But let's say you do one to A and you know it to the other, it's called partiality and it does not work in mathematics. But you did it here, you did it here, it works. So what should be happening should be y minus 2 equals to 4. Then simple, you should have y equals to 2 plus 4, 4 plus 2. So y will give you what? 6. That's your final answer. As easy as that. Okay, I'm looking for a very good question. So now, if you do not see anything under your log A, it means log 10. I forgot to tell you that, though it's not necessary. But in any exam, they did not give anything and you need this 10 for anything, it is 10 automatically. Are we good now? Can I rub it off? I can rub it off, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll rub off my screen now. So just watch the next question I'll be giving. So this next question actually will be a classwork. So time is fast spent. A rub off this thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I think my own network save is lagging. Network. Okay. Let's move on. Alright. So take this as a classwork or an exercise. I don't really like calling it classwork. We have log of base 10 6a plus 3 plus log of 10 3 over 7 equals to log of 10 2a minus 1. So let's solve quickly. Listen, all these log question can lead you to quadratic equation. You might even have some, I think one year I've seen simultaneous equation. So whatever way it gives you, solve it, you still have the same answer. Maybe after this I'll solve one question. This is a further math question, but you can see it in your NECO, save or your WAEC. They are all the same family. One thing in that in university there is no further math of math. Math is mathematics. That's the truth. I don't know why they separate it in secondary school, but I think the reason why they did it is for those that want to move into engineering fields or core science field, like aside biological science like computer science, physics, mathematics, pure maths, or applied or engineering courses or architectural designs and all those kind of things. I think that's why they splitted it up. But in the real sense, math is math. There's no difference. Who has gotten the answer?
Um, A is 34/14.
A. Let me give you option first. So,
I have.
okay, what is the answer?
I've gotten the answer.
What is the answer? A is not network. What is the answer?
A is minus
Minus what?
A is minus 9.
Ah, A is not here. Oh. These are the answers here in this question. Have you checked your workings, bro?
Minus 9.
Okay. No, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, so you have -4, -1/2.
Okay, let me try it again.
Oh, yeah. If you can also try your own again. You have to be very careful in solving math questions. Calmly and swift and quickly, I mean. Okay, time is really a constraint. Even though for time, I'm never tired. But because of time and other things.
Okay, I've tried it again. I made mistake. A is
Eh,
minus 4.
now you're talking. What to be fair?
I have not gotten it. You
Ah,
can move on.
okay, let me move on. So, I think she's correct, Sabi. Yeah, it's actually correct. So let's move on. Okay. If I'm the one, what I'll do is I like solving in a very easy and better way. Look at something. Some I will be looking for A, right? We're actually looking for A. So this one and this one, they are similar. So I can group them together. Let me bring this one here and take this one out. So it's kind of rearranging. So I'll write log 10 of 6A plus 3 minus log 10 of 2A minus 1 equals to, when this one comes, it becomes minus log 3/7 of 10. If you solve it in a different method, always the same thing. Okay, so looking at this now, there is minus in the middle or subtraction sign. You can make a big log of 10, put a bracket 6A plus 3 divided by 2A minus 1. Now how will you group this? Remember we said if you have something in front of log here, you can transfer it to the front here. This is 7, sorry. So I can say log of 10 bracket 3/7 raised to the power of -1. Now as I said earlier, these two are similar. They can cancel each other. 3/7 raised to the power -1 is 7/3. So I have 6A plus 3/2A minus 1. Sorry, my screen is rough. In the next class I'll try to work on making it more organized. Okay, so once I cross multiply, I'll have 3 brackets 6A plus 3 equals to 7 bracket 2A minus 1. This will give me 18A plus 9 equals to 14a minus 7. Are you seeing it now? This one comes here to be 18a minus 14a equals to minus 7 minus 9. 18a minus 14a is 4a. Minus 7 minus 9 is minus 16. So obviously a is minus 16 over 4 equals to minus 4. Alright. Do you have a question? If are you clear?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay. So I think if it's clear right now. Okay, maybe it's network. I want to be sure it's clear before I solve the last question for today. The last question will be, it's a very common question. I've seen it before. Are you clear?
I'm clear, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I can move on right to the last question. Okay,
Yes.
great. Moving on. So it's kind of a further math question,
Yes, sir.
but okay, it's kind of a further math question, but further math or maths, they're all math. It can actually come out in echo. I know echo. You like bringing questions that take time, not as if they're difficult. Just you want to put extra effort in everything. Maybe because it's Nigeria exam. Okay. Now look at the question. Let me use a different marker. Okay. You can check your past question 2006 question 2 for that math. You have if 2 raised by 2x minus 3y equals to 32. Okay. And log y of x equals to 2. Find the values of x and y. Now, do you see something here? This is a combination of indices and logarithm. Very interesting question. Find the value of x and y. So, okay, let me even do something. Sorry. So that those that will be writing will be able to write it quickly. Let me erase this. Let me divide my screen. Yeah, so find the value of x and y. Good. Now this just means this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Simple. I need to get my x and I need to get my y. I'll be using simultaneous equations. This is 2 raised by 2x minus 3y equals to 32. In yesterday's class, was it not yesterday we did instance and logarithm. This will give what 2 raised by 2x minus 3y. As I said yesterday, write this 32 in terms of 2. That will be 2 raised by 5. This will cancel this. You have 2x minus 3y equals to 5. Equation 1. Nice. The next one, you have log x of y equals to 2. You need to get relationship between x and y. I don't like this log here. It's irritating. It's giving me problem. I need to remove it. So for me to remove it, I need to perform what I said the other time. X will be equals to this y. We do what? We carry these 2 and it becomes y raised by 2. Equation what? 2. I know this looks different from what you kind of see. This now in mathematics term be quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is an equation that have squares. Cubic equation are equations that have cube. Because on the long run, why they call it quadratic is that you're going to have 2 answers in a quadratic format, like in 4 equation format, 4 numbers, something like this. So now this is a problem, but you can still deal with it. Now, how are we going to solve this? You can't use elimination method, it won't work. This is y square. The simple thing to do is to use substitution method. Do you get now? Wherever I see x, I put y square. So now this one has x, put s equals to y square in equation 1. I'll just do okay, 2y square. Do you see it? I put it here, minus 3y equals to 5. Bring this one here, 2y square minus 3y minus 5 equals to 0. So can someone, let's solve this, tell me the answer. I'll give you 2 minutes quickly. So let me hear your answers if you are done.
Minus
Okay.
minus 5 and 2.
Minus 5 and 2. Okay. Right. What of Ife?
I didn't get most of the things you said.
Oh,
My
sorry.
data finished, so
I'm
I
really
just
sorry.
got hotspot.
So can you just use few minutes? Can you see everything now?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see some. But
Okay.
under equation 1, what you wrote under equation 1, I can't see the.
This one.
Okay, I've seen it.
Okay. So do you understand? I should do a very quick recap.
Just
Okay.
help me
So the
recap.
question says if 2
From
raised power 2x minus 3y equals to 32 and log x of y equals to 2, find the values of x and y. This here is an initial equation. Why this is a logarithm equation, or some people call it logarithmic, whatever the case may be. So this is 32. I have to put it in the power of 2. So 32 will give me 2 raised power 5. Then this can cancel this, so I will have 2x minus 3y equals to 5. That's my equation 1. Then the next one, I need to express it in terms of x, because this thing will give me a simultaneous equation. So this will be log of x of y. The x here, to remove this log, is irritating me. I need to use this y to carry 2. So x equals to y square, equation 2. You get it now? So I said you can't use elimination method here because this is y and this is y square. They can't work together. They are two different families because of their powers. So I need to put this x equals to y using substitution method to put inside the equation 1. So when I put inside the equation 1, I got a quadratic equation. So the question I asked was convert this, solve for this quadratic equation. That's what the simple question I asked. You get now? So can I move on? Okay, I think I'll move on because I think it's somehow late and there's no power source here. Okay, so we have, this will be 2y squared. You multiply this by this, it gives you 10. Oh, sorry, minus 10. So I can use minus 5y plus 2y minus 5 equals to 0. So we have, sorry, y here bracket 2y minus 5 plus 1 bracket 2y minus 5 equals to 0. So y plus 1, 2y minus 5. I think Ademi can hear me right. So are you seeing it? I'm not sure what you told me was right though.
Yes, sir, I'm seeing it.
Okay, good. You should be noting the corrections here now. Don't worry, I think I did the recording, so the bridge recording is perfect. So I might upload it later. We actually have a YouTube channel, so if I do the editing and all finish, I should be able to upload it maybe tomorrow. It should be. So for those that are having bad network and all those kind of stuff, so let's be fast with this because of the time. we have y plus 1, sorry about that. So y plus 1 equals to 0, 2y minus 5 equals to 0. So here y equals to minus 1 and y equals to 5 over 2. So you'll be having two answers. The same thing, x equals to y squared. So you pick this first one, minus 1 all squared, that's 1. Then another x equals to 5 over 2 squared. I'm using this formula. That will give me what? 25 over 4. This is your final answer. So funny enough, you have 4 answers: y equals to minus 1 and y equals to 5 over 2, x equals to 1 and x equals to 25 over 4. So are we clear on this?